Rick, listen, we often get a lot of email correspondence during the show, Rick, which I don't sort of pass on to you, because I mean, you're busy, you're planning the show and stuff, you've got a lot of ideas, you've got music and stuff to worry about. So I check the emails, and we get a lot of response, a lot of people obviously, you know, want to give us feedback. Just a sample one, from Richard Anderson. He's just emailed us in here, Rick, because he's been listening to the show. He says, Ricky, your show is appalling. Are you actually aware you're on the radio, or has someone just secretly stuck a microphone on you? That's from Richard Anderson. So that's typical of the kind of feedback, Rick, we're getting today. So
it's that good, is it?
So that's the kind of high positive praise that we're getting. So
I'm glad Anderson's listening, because I wanted him. I was gunning for him as a fan.
I was worried that
early on in our career, so I think he's hooked now, though.
But thanks, Anders, for getting in touch. Dick Anderson's been back in touch.
Excellent.
I think so. He's obviously
we've turned him round. Well, he loves it now.
He's been tuning in.
He loves it now.
He says, Ricky, thanks for a really forgettable 2 hours of radio. I think I'll spend the time next week counting my feet. That's from Richard Anderson. So we've turned him round.
Do you know where the phrase "counting my feet" comes from? Well, in the olden days, right, and I'm talking ages ago, when you really loved something, you used to, as a sign of respect, like, say, a radio show, you'd count your feet. And that's where that comes from, Karl.
I'll tell you, our #1 fan has emailed again, I'm pleased to announce.
Who?
Richard Anderson, Dickie Anderson, he was in touch last week.
Is back.
He
loves this show.
He's such a fan of the show, and this week he's emailed in, what actually is the point of your show? Is it to confuse, irritate, depress, or what? All of those things, Dickie. Thanks for noticing.
Oh, he loves this show.
He's such a fan. He's such a fan.
He's
because last week, you remember, Karl, he emailed in to say that he'd rather spend his time counting his feet than listen to this show. Presumably he's done that. Yeah. And he's decided to email in.
Wonder how many feet.
Incredible. Yeah.
No, but he loves this show.
Good, so, thanks, R.A. Thanks for listening.
See you later. What are you looking at?
Well, I'm just looking at some of the emails, and if I can find it, I've got an absolute treat from you.
Go on.
Dickie Anderson.
Is he,
Anders, he's emailed in
Richard Anderson, our biggest fan.
Biggest fan. He said, Dear Ricky, sorry for not tuning in recently, only I've been busy watching a puddle evaporate. Glad to hear you haven't tinkered with the show's winning formula by trying to introduce any quality into it. That's from, Richard Anderson. So, good to have Dickie Anderson listening again.
Oh,
because he just keeps us on our toes, you know.
Yeah.
And, good work, Rich. Thanks for that.
I wonder what he looks like.
Dickie Anderson?
Yeah.
I bet he's a good-looking guy. For some reason, I've always imagined him as being slightly older, with maybe a beard.
Oh, no,
you know what I mean? Like
I think of him sort of cords and now and sweater.
Definitely cords.
I think he looks like, maybe the Proclaimers.
Yeah, but again, with a beard or at least a moustache.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm seeing some kind of facial hair.
And he's sort of like, he's sort of, he likes the Cure and the Swiss Nut, but, he snarls at everything. He thinks everything's pure.
Yeah.
I bet he prefers Radio 5.
Do you think Radio 5?
Yeah. 5,
yeah.
And 4.
I bet he's a real music snob as well. I bet there's certain bands, it's like rubbish. The Blazing Squad, rubbish. All pop music, rubbish. Britney Spears, rubbish.
Is this defamation of character?
He slagged you off enough times, Rick, on the show. I don't know.
And I'm only saying it's my opinion, exactly. I imagine, so,
yeah, I mean, we don't know, I mean, you know, he could be a lovely guy.
To be honest, I'm getting to like him.
What I like about Richard is he's willing to say what he thinks.
Well, it's more than that.
He's a bit like Eminem.
No, it's more than that. He actually hits on the truth too often for my liking.
Yeah, well,
I mean, this is a shoddy show with very, very little to offer.